won't feel so bad. But it was just so
We got it to
discouraged
work.
by
You got it perfect.
Oh,
There it is.
You're
That
the
just
best.
took a while.
We were coming
Whew.
to the bathroom.
Good job.
So close to me, he dented my bumper. Dented my bumper. Like whatever the symbol, I think it was a Freightliner. Whatever was in the front of this bumper. There's an indentation. It pushed I'm like, thanks for paying attention. Lena should be lost.
Yeah, she is. She texted me that
It's really not bad. We were coming this way.
good morning. I was just able to get the live stream up and working. It was giving me a problem.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Sorry I'm late.
I was about to cross your
One of these days I'll figure out Central Florida traffic.
Yeah, you were just discussing.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Oh man, living the dream, Mr. Brew. Thank you though.
Christina Alvarez is online.
Right.
Yeah, she is online. Mm-hmm.
Is Mr. Diaz there too?
Yep, Mr. Diaz is online as well.
Mr. Jesus Diaz.
Yep.
The
That
other
would be
one,
funny.
he would
And one
join
of
if we
Diaz
sent him
did
an
sign
invite. You know, Mr. Diaz would join if we sent him one.
Would
We
he?
should. We should.
Not yet. Not that I see.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started.
4.
If I can get online.
And then your printouts are right there, Mr. Nappins.
Thank you.
Good morning. With the baby.
I'm gonna slide over and let you slide in right here. Go ahead.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
So one big order of business we got to. Well, you know what? Let's follow the appropriate order. So good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? This is our second meeting of the month. We had one early in October to make up for September because of our hurricane. So welcome. So listen, we're going to follow the rules of order. I actually read through the bylaws, which we'll talk a little bit about today. Reread them for the first time since last year, and interesting stuff. So we'll make sure that we follow the rules of order. And so I'm going to motion to call this meeting to order. Second. All right. So we're all on board. We do have enough of our members here to have an official meeting. Yay. All right. So Miss Fletcher, do you have the meetings from the last the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, I do, Mr. Evans.
Listen, this is a stress-free environment. We're just here to have a good time.
Okay, what do you need from?
So, yeah, no, it's good. And I know that Miss Cahow is here for the, do you have those meeting minutes?
Yeah.
Perfect. So if you just want to just run through really quick what we spoke about, and then we'll make sure everybody's on the same page,
Yeah.
and then we'll verify and we'll vote on them.
Yes. Okay, so we talked about principals updating new businesses. Do I need to go in detail? Because I wasn't here, so.
You can just give us like the synopsis, the cliff notes.
Okay. Tutoring was gonna be offered for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. We talked about conferences where teachers were asked to meet with the parents face to face, to have face to face meetings with the majority of their parents if possible. We talked about the school improvement plan. Math is that there was 3 goals. We talked about the community events, school-wide events, open house, and baby showers for the staff. PTA gave updates about food drive, Gators Dockside Spirit Night, pastries with parents, paint the ceiling, Papa John's, Orlando Magic, trunk or treat, and please not forget to join PTA.
Man, wow.
And we also talked about upcoming events, end of the first 9 weeks, no school on Friday, the orchestra field trip, and the book fair. That's about it.
Okay, all right. Well, all right, let's do a great job. All right, so I feel like that's a pretty accurate representation. Anybody, do we miss anything? Does anybody remember from the prior meeting that things that we missed from the minutes? All right, so we need a motion to verify the minutes. All right, perfect. Nice second. Great job. We're rocking and rolling here. All right. Well, all right. So let's get this meeting underway. Listen, Bletcher brought up some really good points. We covered a lot of stuff in our last meeting. We've had some amazing successes with our community actions with PTA over the past month, and I know that Ms. Hutchinson will talk about that a little bit. And so I'm super excited to hear and kind of present that stuff to you guys. We have a couple things that we need to take care of today. One, we are going to jump into the hurricane makeup days, into the principal's update. Yep. All right. So listen, man, it's unfortunate, but it is fortunate that I'm sure you've heard of the surrounding counties. Some of the surrounding counties don't have to make up days. It is what it is. We're actually going to be in session this Friday, which was a planned teacher professional day. The 28th, but now we're going to be here. So I know like a lot of students and a lot of teachers have had planned on that day being available. So I know that we do already have a handful of students who aren't going to be here. I actually have a handful of staff members, which is totally understandable. So the good news is that we're not going to make up full days. And it's not going to impact our Thanksgiving break, which was possible. And a lot of people were fearing. So we are going to still have that entire week of Thanksgiving off. But we are going to have a number of long Wednesdays, which may or may not impact the family or the communities. But it does impact us because those are days that we reserve one per month to have professional development or staff meetings, just faculty meetings to get together. But those will obviously change a little bit. So. Any questions from our people here or from our people online about the process of making up these days? No, I think we're good. All right, perfect. Okay. So we have one big order of business to knock out today, and that is reviewing our SAC bylaws, the School Advisory Council, the School Advisory Committee's bylaws, the rules that we follow while we're here. What I'm going to do is actually ask Ms. Torres if she could throw them up for us. And what I did is I went through and highlighted what I felt like were some important parts. Really, here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. I'm going to go through what I feel like are really some of the highlights of this process. And then I'm going to open it up for questions or clarification. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to propose that we vote on these and ratify our bylaws today. And now the good news is that, let's say, for instance, halfway through the school year, come maybe January, there's something that we want to do here at the school with the School Advisory Committee, but we can't because the bylaws don't permit. The good news is that in the bylaws, there is a stipulation that if we decide that we as a committee who's operating in the best interest of the school, if we feel like we want to adjust the bylaws, we can amend those throughout the course of the school year with 2/3 vote. Okay? So the four big nuggets when it comes to the bylaws are the purpose of the committee, and I'm just going to refer to it as SAC, the purpose of the SAC, the duties of SAC, the representation, which I think we have a pretty good understanding because we went through the election process, and then the meeting format, okay? Actually, I'm going to tell you, as I was reading these the other day and then again this morning, there is one thing that I missed as we were forming our school advisory council, our committee, is we didn't address a vice chair. We do have a chair. We don't have a vice chair. I apologize. Which in the bylaw says we're supposed to have. And I think that my exact words at the start of the school year is we didn't need one. but according to the bylaws, we do. So I think that we should take that into consideration today about nominating a chair. And it actually says that of our three, a co-chair, sorry. Of our three committee members, right? The secretary, the chair, and the vice chair, one of them has to be a non-employee. So we would look to someone who's not here on campus every day as an OCPS employee to fill that role. So we'll talk about that in a second. All right. So I'm going to go through this, and if you want a hard copy of this, or if you want me to email it to you, Ms. Torres has already provided that for you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Torres. So what I went through, I just kind of highlighted a few things that I thought were necessary. If you think that there are things in there that you want to address as the whole group, or if you have questions, please feel free. So under the first article where it talks about, or the second article where it talks about the purpose, the things that jumped out at me: preparation, implementation, and evaluation of the school improvement plan. That is something that we talked about at the start of the school year. Before we sent it off to the state, we talked about the three goals that are like our big nuggets this year as endeavor, things that we can do to really drive the school. Things that went well last year and how we've adjusted our approach for this year. It is Florida law. That's something that's very important. The duties under Article 3 of the School Advisory Committee determine and prioritize the goals of the school. And then needs assessment data. And then also our actual academic data. So what we're going to see this year is Ms. Blair is currently in the process of collecting some data from our 4th and 5th grade.
Yes.
4th and 5th grade students, and that's DESA data. And then towards the end of the year, we're going to have our school climate data, and they do a sampling of the students. You guys know, if you've been a community member here before, that the community gets a say, and then also the staff. We'll review that with the school with SAC and kind of get your take on it. Okay. Number 6, this is a big one because this is something that we did last year, is that identify the appropriate use of school improvement dollars. That we identified that we had money. You know, it's interesting because I don't know what our balance is right now. That's something I should bring every meeting. I'll make sure that I have that for the next meeting. But identify ways to use this. Last year, we created a very detailed process of allocating money to the teachers to do things in their class to impact instruction. And then number 8, shall assist the principal in preparation of school's annual budget. And if you weren't on SAC last year, that is something you'll see this year. Probably in the spring, like around February, March, April, we start to really dive into the budget for next year and start planning for next year, and we'll definitely want your input on that. Okay. All right, going down to Article 4, it talks about representation and elections. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you guys are all fully involved in this process. You are all here because you were nominated by community members and then voted on by community members to be a member of this committee. You guys know, and I feel like I did a good job of explaining this, but I'll reiterate it now, that a majority, so 51%, one more than half of the members have to be like people who don't work here. So community members, which we are good. And it also needs to be a representation of our school population, right? So Black, white, Hispanic, male, female, okay? All right, and then, so we went through the election process. Does anybody have questions about the election process in which we found our members here? I'll touch really quickly on Article 5. It talks about voting procedures. Again, too, we know that in order to have to make official business happen in these meetings, that we need to have a majority of our staff here, or a majority of our committee. That's referred to as quorum. And then in order to pass anything, we need to have one more than half. Okay. That was really interesting the way this is written. So, I mean, understand this is probably pieces of this were probably drafted, 20 years ago, and then either have been adjusted or the same since the school started. So, it talks about voting by secret ballots, and a lot of these fall under the Sunshine Law, which a lot of this language is driven from. So, and then the last one, I think it's the last one, almost end, is the tenure. people, we all serve for 1 year. There's no limit of, there's no term limit for people who want to serve on SAC. If you want to serve as a committee member for the entire time that your child goes here or the entire time that you work here, you're eligible to do so. And then it talks about number 6 under Article 6 talks about if there was an issue with attendance, and it prohibited us from voting on things and getting business done, that there was a process for that. Almost done. Meetings, I'm looking at it right now, shall contain an agenda, which we use the PowerPoint slides for the agenda, and then Ms. Torres does a fantastic job of providing us a bulleted list. And then duties of the officers. So Article 8. All right, this is one that really jumped out at me. Man, I was a little embarrassed when I read this, and I read it again this morning. It said that we shall have 3 officers, a chair, a vice chair, and a secretary. Well, we have a chair in the amazing Ms. Torres. We have Ms. Bletchinger, who's our awesome secretary. And now we don't have a vice chair, but it actually says at least one of these officers shall be a non-school employee. I didn't know that. And I've read this like 17 times. So clearly I missed it multiple times. And then real quick, so if you're nervous about like, oh, I don't want to be the vice chair because of all this responsibility, if you look at number 3, it says the duties of the vice chair shall include, and basically just assisting the chair if the chair is absent, right? Now, I will tell you that Ms. Torres is phenomenal and super organized. Her and I try to meet once a month to plan these meetings out. And most of the times that works. So is anybody here? Now listen, that is pretty much, so right here, the Article 10, the very last thing here said the bylaws should be reviewed at April, September, October meetings. This is the October meeting. And we can amend it. We have amended the amendment ability, but it's like a 30-day process, basically, if we want to amend something, okay? So I flew through that really fast. We have 2 options today. If we as a committee feel really good about the bylaws and you feel like you have a general understanding and you feel comfortable enough as a committee member to ratify these bylaws for the 22-23 school year, I would like to do so, but I would open it up for a little bit of conversation if anybody wanted to wait, if they wanted to read them over the course of the month, and that we were to ratify them in the November meeting. I'm okay with that too. I just want to make sure everybody's clear and comfortable with what we have going on here. So I'll just open it up for discussion. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about the bylaws? And if you do, that's fine. If you, I'll just be quiet for a second. So if there are no concerns, with the idea knowing that if there was something that as a group we decided that we wanted to change for the better, not only of this year, but for Endeavor and the way that this committee works, that we can amend that throughout the school year. But if we don't have any topics of conversation right now, then I'm going to motion that we approve the Endeavor bylaws for the 22-23 school year. Second. So then we'll do a vote of all the committee members, right? So all in favor? All right, perfect. All right, that's done. All right. So the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to be quiet, is vice chair. All right, this is not something that has to be done in this meeting. We can do this in November. And you know what? I'll probably do that. I'll probably just say, hey, listen, if you're interested in being vice chair, you're currently on the school advisory committee, and this is something that you would like to put on your email signature at work as the vice chair of your children.
Let me put that on my stamp.
But if you're interested, then you could self-nominate, or we could have someone nominate now. Or we could put it to bed until November, and we could just bring it up then as new business in November. Okay. Remember, it has to be a non-employee. All right. So it's a limited group. Yes, Ms. Torres.
I just want to say Angie Cartaya did an amazing job as vice chair last
Mhm.
year. So I just want to throw it out there. We do have our previous term vice chair here in the room. So I just want to make sure that is on the record. But
I second.
anybody,
I second.
I'm not nominating. I am just saying
Throwing it out there.
if anybody else, like seriously, just wanted, it is open to everybody, but
Yeah.
I did want it to note that our previous vice chair is here, but it is open
I
to
don't know, I forgot.
everybody.
I'm sorry.
He didn't
So
And wasn't it a great term?
yeah, we had a great time. All right, so let's do this. Let's just let's table it. All right, let's table it till November, and then we can continue on, knowing that Ms. Cartaya did a fantastic job as the vice chair, the 21-21 or the 21-22 school year. So, listen, that's all I have. I just want to give you a quick preview that we have our November meeting and then December meeting. Those are both going to be short months for us. The November meeting or the December meeting, my goal is to provide you guys with some mid-year data. Hopefully, at that point, we have our middle of the year diagnostic data and we're really able to see our areas of growth. Hopefully, more areas of growth and areas of regression from the start of the year to the end. Okay? Any questions for me?
30th.
All right, here we go. Ms. Torres, you're up.
I will pull it up in a moment.
Not yours.
All right, so continuing on with the agenda, we did want to speak about an update on the school improvement plan today, specifically with point 3 of the school improvement plan, which is about culture and environment, being able to integrate and monitor resources and strategies. And here at Endeavor, last week was Rock Your School Week, which is really big on student engagement. And it was a video game theme. So Miss Mann took the lead of that here at Endeavor as a district initiative that we were pushing through here at Endeavor. And she paved the way. She was sending out daily emails about different strategies teachers could use on the spot in their classroom. She held multiple meetings in the mornings with staff members to kind of plot and plan throughout the week. And we're very excited that she has joined us for the meeting today to kind of discuss a little bit more about how this really benefited Endeavor. So I'd like to call up Miss Mann.
Is it okay if I stand here?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we had something called Rock Your School, and basically it's all about engagement. So it's all about getting the kids excited about learning, just getting them, out of their seats, just making it exciting for them. And it's all standards-based. It was all geared towards what the teachers were already supposed to be doing for that day. It was just turning it into something fun and different for the kids. Some teachers went all out. This is Miss Gassman's class. She did a gaming theme in her room. We had a teacher do Willy Wonka, and it was just about leveling up our learning. The district created the gaming theme around Rock Your School, and it was just a lot of fun. And to show that it really did make a difference, of course we have pictures, but one of the teachers that participated told me that in the afternoon she sees a student in a small group and they're really just not engaged very much because they are just kind of done for the day in the afternoon. And she told me when she did her engagement strategy that afternoon that the child was really ready to participate, and he's just highlighting and annotating and writing all these notes, and it's just not the typical behavior of the student. So this is why we do things like this, is just to get the kids really excited and to get them happy about being here. And our culture, thankfully, the kids are just really happy to be here all the time. I'm up in the hallway upstairs in the morning, and they're just all really excited to be here and just happy normally. But just pulling in some of these really fun activities just makes it all the more exciting. So the top middle picture is a kindergarten class, and they were studying apples and just different parts of the apple. So they were doing reading, they were doing writing, they were doing science. On the right, they were I know it's kind of hard to see, but that was a glow theme. So everything was done in the dark. Certain highlighters that you use will glow in the dark, so the kids were annotating evidence. Miss Week's class on the bottom left, they did Willy Wonka for the day, so they made chocolate bars and tied it into science, physical, and chemical changes. I know Miss Cartia's son is in there as well as mine, and they had a fantastic day. It was great. And then Miss Fletchinger is on the bottom right, and she had Dr. Mario theme. So it just, all of these teachers just kind of jumped in. And last year we only had a few participate. It was kind of a new thing that the district did. This year we had over 9 teachers participate. So it was really exciting. And teachers said that they would really love to do it again in the spring, because some of them didn't get to participate. We happened to have conference week that same week, and so teachers were just busy with that. So they would like to do another one. So I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm not feeling well, sorry. But I'm hoping that they'll participate, that we'll have more participation in the spring. So that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Mann, for providing that update. So it was a lot of fun seeing teachers do classroom transformations, teachers pulling out black lights, utilizing computers, and as Ms. Mann said, this week's doing the science activity, creating chocolate bars. So it was a lot of fun for the students. And I know she said 9 teachers participated. That was on Friday, the big day that teachers did like big classroom transformations. Majority of the staff were utilizing those engagement strategies she was talking about throughout the entire week. So just so you all know, all those teachers were creating a great environment for your students.
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mann.
Yeah, no problem.
Continuing along with the agenda with community involvement in school-wide events. As Ms. Mann just brought up, we did wrap up with conference week last week, where the goal was for every single teacher to be able to meet with at least one member of every single navigator's family to talk about their how they are doing in the classroom. And as Mr. Nappins brought up in the last SAC meeting, he did challenge families to ask those hard questions for targeted instruction for their students to kind of fill those gaps from the previous years to make sure that they are successful. I know some conferences are still continuing into this week, but it is very important that you do understand how your child is progressing throughout the curriculum this year, especially because we do have those new standards that are being used in the classroom. So even if you are still concerned about your child or what you can do at home to help, reach out to your child's teacher via dojo or email so that you can continue to support them at home, just like we're supporting them here at school. 3rd through 5th grade tutoring did kick off. Once again, Mr. Nappin spoke about this at our last SAC meeting, where it is targeted students based on beginning of the year data for those 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. So it was not just sign your child up for tutoring. It was selected by data from here at the school site. We did collect information from teachers who were doing private tutoring, and we will make sure we have comprised a list. It was sent out to teachers. We will make sure we get that posted on dojos for families. Once again, if you do want to do private tutoring, that is an outside cost, and teachers and staff members who are doing tutoring must do tutoring off campus. It cannot take place on campus. We are very excited that Ms. Waldick is continuing with student council, and student council elections are coming up. Just like voting day takes place November 8th, we will also be having voting day here at Endeavor for those 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade navigators to vote for their student council officers. Ms. Waldick does a great job with student council with this election process. Students campaign, they record videos. There is a voting booth set up upstairs as navigators come upstairs at 8:15 in the morning so that they can vote before they make way to their classroom. And then the student council officers work with student council and Ms. Waldeck, and they provide different community opportunities and school-wide opportunities to do as their projects. Last year, they did an amazing job revamping the butterfly garden outside of the pavilion, which you all should definitely stop by and check out at Fall Festival next month. But you can see their hard work out there. They are also in years past, they have also done their community food drive to give to the Second Harvest Food Bank right before the holiday season for those families that are in need. So we're very excited that Ms. Waldeck is continuing on this great course with Student Council and developing future leaders. Next week is quite a busy week. Next week is going to be the book fair held here in the Endeavor Media Center. So please, Ms. Quadrado is going to need additions, approved volunteers to assist, not just with checkout, but we need family members here to help our young navigators select books so that they can purchase and bring home. Because reading is very important, and our teachers here are working very hard on instilling that love and passion for reading. And also next Monday is our annual book character parade. Notice it's a book character parade, not a costume parade. All right, students are encouraged to dress up as one of their favorite characters from one of their favorite books to parade around school for everybody to witness. So we do encourage families to come out and enjoy the parade, where you will be able to stand out front in the front of the school and watch the parade go by. And have no fear, your child will get to watch the parade, because as we loop around and come inside, the students will be able to walk in front of each other and they sit as the parade continues. So everybody will be able to show off their fabulous costumes. Please remember, no face masks, and please remember, no weapons of any kind, even if it's part of the costume. We are still on OCPS property and we want to follow those rules. But please come on out and support your navigator and check out this great opportunity that the Literacy Committee and Ms. Mann have been working so hard on. And in addition to next week, we also have the kindergarten fall concert taking place Wednesday night in the cafeteria at 6:00 p.m. We do want it known that next Wednesday night, the book fair will be open late. So Ms. Quadrado will be opening up the book fair at 8:00 in the morning, and she is keeping that book fair open after school. So even after dismissal, you can grab your navigator and bring them on in, or you can come on in for the concert, where she will still have the book fair open before the concert, as well as after the concert until about 7:00 p.m. So it would be a great time if you want to stop by without your navigator, maybe pick them up some holiday gifts or a gift to encourage them to do great on their report card, and buy some books for them, because this is a fundraiser for the Media Center, so Ms. Quadrado can continue doing great things in here for your navigator. PTA update. We do have 2 PTA members here, so they'll be able to speak more in depth if you would request. They did have their paint and ceiling tile night last weekend, where they had many families coming in at night, where they purchased the tile from the cafeteria that their family was in charge of decorating and painting, because it is beautifying up the cafeteria as well as creating community. It will encourage those navigators to return to Endeavor after they leave and go to middle school, high school, and start their own adult lives, where they can come back, look up, and still have that memory of elementary school with them. The Papa John's 50 Nifty fundraiser card, 50% off your purchases for participating Papa John's, is still taking place. There is a prize for our top sellers, so make sure you are still continuing to sell those cards. Last Saturday was the Orlando Magic Spirit Night, where I found out that they sold out the top block. So it was really great having all of those navigators there supporting our hometown team, along with spending some quality time with each other and their families on a Saturday night. Next Monday, book character parade. And it is also the first annual trunk or treat here it's this Friday, not next Monday. This Friday, because there is school this Friday. This Friday is the first annual trunk or treat with PTA. They have been posting a lot of information about it on Class Dojo, along with sending forms home. So please check in on that. if you're wanting to participate. And probably their biggest fundraiser of the year is just around the corner. Our annual Fall Festival is taking place Friday, November 11th, here at Endeavor Elementary School in the evening. Flyers are going home to families either today or tomorrow. Forms are in the teacher's mailbox with information about purchasing wristbands, any sort of tickets that you might need for games. So be on the lookout for information about Fall Festival coming up. And then PTA, I know we've got our president and vice president here. Anything else you want to add on for the PTA update?
I think you covered it all.
We did. We did good.
Awesome. All right, once again, PTA is only able to do these amazing opportunities for the staff and families here at Endeavor with your support. So once again, I encourage you, if you have not done so, check out the member hub and join to be a member of PTA so they can continue to do these great opportunities for you and your navigator. We do have a full list of what's next coming up. Like tomorrow, the fourth graders are going to St. Augustine for their field trip. And very important, as Mr. Knappen said earlier, there is school on Friday. This is a full day of school to make up for one of the missed days for Hurricane Ian. So there is school this Friday. That is there. It is happening. Hope to see you here. Once again, also on Friday, trunk or treat. And then the book fair is going through, the kindergarten concert. Book club is still taking place for those navigators who read those Sunshine State books. And then something to be aware of, Wednesday, November 9th. That's next Wednesday, that's the kindergarten concert. The following Wednesday is a long Wednesday, making up for one of the Hurricane Ian lost days or one of those hours for one of those days. So November 9th will be a long Wednesday with November 11th being Fall Festival. On Thursday, November 14th, we are going to have Miss Woods and Miss Geraldo's class on stage for their farm performance. November 18th, out at PE during specials will be the annual Kids Heart Challenge, or for those of you families who remember growing up, Jump Rope for Heart, raising money for the American Heart Association. So we will have the Kids Heart Challenge where it will be a day zero for specials. Well, all navigators during the special area time will come outside to the pavilion so for some fun activities for heart awareness and health. We're very lucky that November 21st through November 25th, we do get that full week of a fall or Thanksgiving break. And Thursday, December 1st, will be the second grade field trip to the ballet, which is an OCPS provided field trip for that all second graders can attend for free. And then this is our block of time to open up for any questions or concerns that we have from families here in the room today, but also online at home. So do we have any questions?
Great job, Ms. Torres, by the way.
Thank you.
While any of us are thinking about questions, I do have like a little staffing update. It's sad and exciting news altogether. I don't know if you know Coach Miranda, one of our amazing, he was our amazing PE para, fantastic, just guy. But he was a licensed teacher, had never taught here in Florida, but had taught in Puerto Rico, and then just was able to get an actual PE teaching job, instructional position right here at Weatherby down the street. So, man, hated to lose him. Thankful that he got a good opportunity for himself, but definitely a loss for us, but a gain for him. If we would have had an opportunity for him here from an instructional capacity, we would have loved to have kept him, but he's in a good place, so we're thankful for him.
And speaking of a little staffing update, Endeavor is very excited to announce that our very own Teacher of the Year, Ms. Cahow,
Thank you.
is a finalist for the Orange County Public Schools Teacher of the Year. So she's a top 5 finalist, meaning not only is she Teacher of the Year here at the Endeavor Elementary School site, she's a finalist for a Teacher of the Year for the entire district of elementary school, middle schools, and high schools. So she is a top 5 finalist for the district. So we are very excited for Ms. Cahow and rooting her on that she will be the Orange County Public Schools Teacher of the Year representing our district.
Be very cool. So what? She's not here yet.
Now she's doing the kind club.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I just think there's over 200 schools in the district, so it's not just elementary, so this is all elementary, middle, and high school, so. Listen, you guys are great. I appreciate you guys dedicating your time, this half hour, 45 minutes that we spent together on one morning a month. And if you guys have any questions, if you don't have any questions, you want to stay back, you can ask questions here. Our next meeting, what's our next meeting day? November 30th. So after we get back from the break. And then we'll have a short month. And so we have 2 short months coming up. We have a week off in November and then 2 weeks off in December. So December, January. So, all right. So do we have any questions online?
I have not seen any questions online. So I motion to go ahead and wrap up this meeting and see you all in November. Do we have a second?
Second. All right.
From Lena.
All right, guys. Listen, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Have a great day. Have a great week. Happy Wednesday. Have a great holiday. That's all I got. Send you guys out.